Okay.
All right.
Hey, I decided to do something a little different tonight, so I decided to give you all a little bit of a tour of our new place and talk about some of our collections and some of our wall hangings and different things, just to kind of mix things up a little bit and just kind of invite you into our home, just for something a little different. And I know it's dinner time, it's happy hour time, it's tiki time, and this is our little tiki bar thing. We just went to the liquor store and got stocked up for the year. We don't usually always have this much, but we got a few new things. And so we're just gonna follow me around, and Patrick's holding the phone, and he's just gonna follow me around, and I'm just gonna talk about different things that's in our apartment here. So hope you all have fun with this, and if you like this video, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please hit thumbs up. If you enjoy this video and you want to share it with your friends, please share it with your friends. Share the link, and share it with someone who might need a smile. Just trying to mix things up a little bit, and so we're just and thinking it might be fun to just kind of see some things with what's going on with us. So anyway, we're in our kitchen, and so he's just gonna be following me around here. This is our little laundry area. It's just kind of like where I fold laundry and do different things. So I always love movie stars, so I have Marilyn over here, and I have Robert Redford, Audrey Hepburn. Over here I have Clark Gable and Rita Hayworth. And then this is a poster I had in my old shop over here. Everyone always thinks this is Patrick, but it's not. So I've even had some friends come over and actually take a picture because I think this guy is so cute. So anyway, I still have this poster, and it's just nice. It just makes you feel good to just see somebody cute. So anyway, this is another thing. This was my plaque from when I graduated beauty school. This was actually part of the school tuition. Here, there we go. This was part of the school tuition, was to get this plaque. This was from Robert Lewis Beauty School. If anyone who's from the DC area from the last 40 years, Robert Lewis actually had salons, then he had beauty school, then he sold the school to somebody else, and then he went away, and someone else was in charge of the school when I went there, and then he came back later on, and then he had salons. And so anyway, this was my plaque from, it says 14th day of June 1984. So this was, this is something that I've always hung on to, and have had since then, and it's sort of like my, I kind of earned it. And then of course I have my license from the state of Maryland, but this has always been kind of like my thing to just have, and know that I made it through. And and this is my collection of cookbooks over here. These are I'm not always following recipes, but it's fun to just have some different ones. These are my two favorite ones, the Tiki Drinks and the Shag Party. There's an artist named Shag that I really like. I'll just kind of take one out just so you can see. Hopefully they don't fall down. But Shag is an amazing artist. He does lots of mid-century modern things, and very kind of cartoony, and his paintings actually sell for a lot of money. But he illustrated all these cookbooks, and all the recipes kind of go with that type of style, for that type of mid-century, mid-20th century fun cocktail party kind of a theme. So here's that. Okay, so ignore the piles of laundry that are over here, and let me just get that. Okay, this is a painting done by my grandmother. I come from a very creative family. My great-grandmother studied at the Corcoran School of Art. My grandmother took classes. I can't remember. Was somebody who was fairly famous for his time. I can't think of who it was, but she did lots of paintings and lots of artwork, and actually sold pieces. and this was in the family for a long time. She gifted it to many of her nieces, for the nieces she had, and I just recently acquired that from one of my, well, her niece, which is like my dad's first cousin, who is my like second cousin once removed, however you would say it. But so this is a painting from 1957. So, you know, I also do artwork too, and you'll see that too. So anyway, we're gonna go over here. Patrick, you know, is an actor, and these are all of his programs from his. You can go up a little bit. There we go. These are programs from all the plays he was in, and at St. Bonaventure University. He was in the theater department, very active in acting. This was what, the first one, Miss Markham was the first one he was in his freshman year, all with the Garrett Theater Players. And, you know, he had saved all the programs, and his parents, as a gift, framed that for us, which I thought was a really great gift. And it's just like a nice thing. And so when people even come over, people are like, well, what's this, Oedipus Rex, Romeo and Juliet, who did all? And I said, you know, Patrick was in all those plays, you know. So it's really wonderful to see. It's nice as colors, it's nice, you know, and you can actually look at that and you think, you know, wow, you know, it was in a part of all these things. So it's kind of fun to be able to celebrate. And then just going back over here, these are 3 of our wedding photos. Our friend Cassidy took these pictures at our wedding, and even though I had paid to have a professional photographer, our friend Cassidy took these photos. You can just go over here, and sometimes I have them also on Facebook too. But it's kind of fun to she actually, as a wedding gift, took these photos and then blew them up, like had them blown up at like Kmart or someplace, Walmart, and then I bought the frames. I was able to get the frames, and here, just lower, there we go. And I was able to get the frames. So it's nice to just look at the wedding photos and just remember like the best moments of that day. It was a very crazy day, and a lot of craziness happened. But it's exciting to be able to, you know, just be able to have that as our memento. So, you know, getting over here. This is one of the sketches I did when I was in high school art class. I was very lucky. My sister-in-law, or former sister-in-law, really liked my, these are his pastel work. I have this one and another one you'll see in a minute. Here, just load it. There we go. This one and another one you'll see in a minute. These were done when, like I said, when I was in high school. They were done on kind of like a brown paper. My art teacher at the time was very about having us work on neutrals, whether it was red or brown, so that everything could pop off of the canvas, as opposed to doing things totally from a white canvas. So this was just a model, and the class had modeled with a musical instrument. And then over here, this is a sketch I did from an Audubon drawing. It was a very famous Audubon drawing of the owls. This, and I had to mat the thing myself, which is very difficult. I find it very difficult. Framing and matting of artwork is one of the most difficult things that I think artists have to do, and if you can get around doing it yourself, you know. But some people are really into it. So anyway, it was a class I was taking at Montgomery College, where we could do copies of originals, and this was my version of Audubon. You know, if everyone knows the Audubon Society and how we love birds, and sketches of birds and paintings of birds. And I kind of did my own little twist on it. I mean, he did have some very cutesy faces of the birds, but I kind of made him a little bit cuter, because that's like what I do. So, but anyway, it was the same color scheme, and you know, it was just from a pamphlet. So, so that's another one of our things. And then, maybe I should go over here. Okay, so this was a hula poster that I just recently acquired in an estate sale. We got a lot of fun hula things, hula mementos from actually this estate sale where there's lots of cool tiki stuff and beachy things, and it's really kind of fun to be able to have that. Okay, so we'll come over here. our gargoyle mirror. This is one of my prized possessions. As you can see Patrick in the mirror there. It was actually more stone and then it was painted gold. And this was sold at a store called Dream Wizards, which is in Rockville. They have all kinds of different board games, magic cards, all kinds of geek gaming kind of things, table games. And for a while there was a phase where they were really into selling gargoyle-oriented items, and I love gargoyles. And I especially like the doggy ones because they look like pugs and bulldogs and all that. So this is like kind of my fun thing when you come in, or if you're about to leave, you can kind of check yourself and check everything. So it's kind of fun. And then over here, here's another. This is another one of my sketches right here from the same art class. Oh, you can see the reflection in the mirror. Okay, so anyway, maybe we just put it down a little bit. There we go. This is another art sketch from the same art class with done on the brown paper. And my former sister-in-law had this. You can actually see this is a double 1, 2, 3 triple metted frame from this. So, all right, we'll just come around this way, back around the corner. And this is our mask collection. This is a tiki mask. This one I actually got at a thrift store. This one actually came when I bought that hula poster we saw a minute ago. This one was just in that whole collection of things. Patrick's theater mask was the humor and the tragedy theater masks. And then I had this one, the clown one. These two gargoyle ones, here, hold that up just a little bit. These two gargoyle ones, I got at the same time as I got that gargoyle mirror. And then this one when I got at the Maryland Renaissance Fair. There's an artist who sells a lot of these stone things. It's really pretty because it's like a rainbow ombre. And then this one I actually got through an Avon catalog of all things. Because I liked it because it was gold, and I liked the way the face was symmetric, because not all the faces are symmetric, but I kind of like that, and that was sort of like an African kind of a collection. So it's kind of fun to have these kind of different things. All right, you can put that down. It's kind of fun to have these different things from different cultures and things. Okay, so then this is, it was Patrick's Phantom of the Opera poster. Actually, let me dim this light here so we can not have that reflection. Oops. There we go. Yeah, see, it's a Phantom, Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera. Patrick really loves the Phantom of the Opera musical, and since we both love old movies, and this is like from the original Phantom of the Opera from the old movie time. It's kind of fun to be able to have, you know, some things that are from different eras and stuff. And then this is another of my framed pastels from high school. And you know, I still do artwork. I still have my pastels. If anybody wants anything, I can definitely, you know, whip something up. These were things that I just did. These were just like 15-minute, 10-minute class study things. I like this because it had the turquoise and it had some, was a girl that was blonde, and it had, you know, the different colors, and it was kind of fun to be able to have, each one kind of has a different color scheme. That one that I just showed a minute ago had more oranges. The one with the musical instrument was more yellows. So, and then here's the mirror that we acquired with our apartment. And so we'll come over here. This is this is some of my doll collection up there, my Barbie collection. And we'll just scroll down this way, all the way down here, this way. So this is my whole Barbie collection right here. I have certain ones that were gifted to me and certain ones that I bought on my own that were things that I was into, but then other people knew that I collected Barbies and just, you know, would give me things for my birthday and different things. So it was kind of fun to be able to get different things that have people think, oh, well, she would like this and she would like that. And so I still have everything, and then I recently acquired the Scarlett O'Hara one up there with the red dress, and that's kind of like a Gone with the Wind collectible. These are my Erte play collection. If you've never heard of Erte was a costume designer in the early, I'd say late teens, around I think he started around say 1910, 1912, somewhere around that area through the 30s. So a lot of his work was, majority of his work was done through the late teens and 1920s. And it was very the Art Deco movement, and each one has another like fabulous outfit. They have gold tinges and gold accents, and each one has like a different color theme: the green, the red, the purple, the black, the blue, oranges, and you know, it's very fun. And then of course there's the pug one that I got as a gift, and different things like that. So then, in keeping in with the Art Deco theme, this actually was I had this as a tote bag. At one time, there was I think it was like something like a mail order thing when I was like in high school. You get this tote bag with this Vogue cover on it. And so what I did was I had that, I got that and ordered it, and then kept that, and I actually framed it. But then I got to a point where it was so seen better days. So then another Vogue actually had a thing where you could actually order framed matted framed work of their Vogue covers, and here it was the original of the thing that I had the tote bag of when I was from high school. So I was able to get this. So this is, I'm not really sure of the artist who did this, but it is very similar to an Erte, and like my plate. So I'm a fan of Art Deco, and of course it has the turquoise too. So, you know, I like the turquoise, and it actually has some red and has some bold colors, and I like the contrast of that. And then getting back over here, I did this when I was taking a class in MC. It was actually, this is actually done with computers. It was computer art. You can actually see the gradient shading here. And if you look up close, it was actually from a photograph. We had to do a piece of artwork from, here, why don't we just zoom in here. We had to do an artwork from a photograph or a memory. And that was actually a photo from a photograph of the Kennedy Center when it was first built, when the Potomac River actually had a beach, when you could actually swim at the beach by the Kennedy Center, and then you could actually put boats out right there. So it's kind of funny because it's the contrast of the old school, which was how the Potomac River was back then in the 70s, but this was 90s technology, because it was a 90s computer graphics class with you can see with the gradients. And I actually had to do this literally pixel by pixel to get these bushes to look like that. I had to do pixel by pixel to create these boats. So, you know, that was like a pen tablet and a certain type of technology that I don't even know if they don't even use this anymore. But it was a big deal at the time, you know. And then this is one of the paintings I did around that same time period, where I was taking that was a fine arts class through Montgomery College. So that was that one was a computer arts class. This one was a fine arts class. So this is another one of my paintings where I have, you can see I have my colors, my strong colors, and I happen to have, like, you know, you have to create your own still life, and I happen to have this pig bank, and I had a turquoise candle holder, and so some of my more dramatic kind of shading and different things. So, you know, it just kind of keeps it fun. And so I'm just going to come down here. This is, speaking of Art Deco, this is an original thing. This actually belonged to my grandmother. This was probably, I would say, this must be like circa around 1915, 1916. This is actually probably more Art Nouveau than Art Deco, but I like this poem, and I like the artwork, and the frame is actually antique, and it's just one of my prized possessions because I like the poem and I like the art, and it just kind of like knowing that I have something that's an original thing of that, not just something that was like something that's created of that, but it actually is of that era. So then here, we'll come over here, flip over here, come over here. This is Opitz. This is the Opitz family coat of arms and family history, which Patrick had, which I framed. And we'll just kind of go up a little bit, and then go down. And then and this tells the whole history of the Opitz name and how it can be traced with our family coat of arms. And so I think that's kind of very interesting if you like history. We'll just come into our gym here. Just a couple of things. Oh, this is Bishop O'Connell Drama Department. This was Patrick's performance award when he was in high school. It was what, your senior year, honey? Mm-hmm. Yeah, senior year of high school and the end of his senior year. So it's always nice to have some of that. I really like to celebrate our success. It's like if you don't toot your own horn, who else will, you know? And then this is a photo done by our friend Brendan, Patrick's friend from school. Brendan, he did this. He was a photographer, and he did this old growth forest, Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So he knew that Patrick really, really loved forests and really loves the woods. And you know, it's a great photograph. And then what's this? Oh, this is your award from your Northern Virginia Community College when you got your certificate after he got his 4-year degree. He got a certificate from Nova for acquisition and procurement for contracts. And this is Abraham Lincoln, correct, from the Civil War?
Abraham Lincoln and General McClellan.
So and this is a reproduction of the Civil War photograph. And then this is his thing that he went to. He went on this wilderness adventures hike, and this is kind of like, how long was that, honey? Was that 6 weeks, a month? Or
a month.
It was a month out in the wilderness. I could never do it. And then this is his little certificate of ascent saying that he for the Grand Teton National Park. It's in Wyoming, Jackson, you know, the whole bit. So it actually shows that he actually completed that whole process. And I couldn't do it. No way. A whole month in the wilderness. And then just going to come in here briefly. This is more of our Hawaiian theme. This is the Surf's Up. It's a cute little picture I got, part of the that estate sale I went to. This I've had since probably the late 80s, early 90s, and it's like neon artwork. And I think it's really fun because it's, you know, it's got the hot pinks and it's got the blues, and you can tell it's definitely from the 80s. Apparently, if you were to see this in person, there actually was real neon in it. But this is just like a picture of the Neon Works, and this is called Neon Works 2. There actually is a Neon Works 1, and a picture of that. But this I've had all this time, and this is kind of like what I have. This is in the office, and it's kind of like one of those things that it always makes me feel good to see it because it's nice and bright and mod and fun. And then this is a cute little, you know, little hula girl, aloha. And in the bathroom, I did more of the aloha theme in Patrick's bathroom. I'll put the light on in here. There we go. We had some great mirrors that came with this apartment. So this is another little aloha from Hawaii. We got little hula girl soap dispenser, and then this great Hawaiian shower curtain. Welcome to Hawaii. It's fun with this antique car.
The bar and grill. Oh yeah,
bar and grill. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that's a cute one. And yeah, fun little photos everywhere. And then this was hand done. This was like when I was born, my parents had this done, and I just love this. It looks very kind of like Amish German kind of style, and I think it's great because it was all, you know, hand done with pen and watercolors and you know, hand done calligraphy. And so it's just, you know, it's just fun to kind of just mix things up to kind of see a fun mix of different styles, you know. And then here in the bathroom, it's more of the Hawaiian thing. I really love this with the blues. And since I have a lot of, you know, different blue things, I try to keep, you know, I always have a fun leopard print. I have lots of things. And then this is more of the hula theme throughout here. And more of my gargoyles. I had the whole gargoyle set, but then I decided to kind of mix this up, and I have more of the tiki stuff here. And, and then in here I have more of my... In the makeup area, I have my Marilyn Monroe, another Marilyn Monroe, and then James Dean. I got those at like Bed Bath & Beyond. And, you know, it's fun to just surround yourself with glamour and beautiful things. This is my beauty area over there. Sweetie, let me just get a little shot of my beauty area over here. And then this, I kind of wheel around if people want to, if I'm just having, you know, one-on-ones and just someone just wants to sample a few things. And then This is from Oneida. If anyone knows of Oneida Silversmiths, it's like there's just like a cute little picture with these pigs, and it says "Easy to Love," and it was like a poster. You know, it was just a cute little thing I got, and it's just like one of those things you just like you want to surround yourself with something cute. And this is a puzzle, actually, if you can imagine this. This is a puzzle. If you look really, really close, you can see that there are puzzle pieces here. This is by this artist called Andrea Mastretta. Every year she does the poster for New Orleans Mardi Gras. And she always does these faces with the makeup and all these fun makeup things. And she's the official poster person for Mardi Gras. So this was from 86 to 2003. A friend of mine saw it and thought that I would love it because it just looks so me. And ever since I've had it, you know, I've now finally found her on Facebook, finally found her business page. And it's just so cool because you can't get enough of these colors. Now, when you're doing it as a puzzle, this is actually one of the hardest puzzles I've ever done. I always say puzzles for like when it's like snowing outside and when there's fun things to, you know, when you're snowed in, you're looking for something fun to do inside. And because, you know, the border of this might be the border of that, and this eye might be actually the eye for this. But, you know, somehow I pulled it together. I was able to do it in probably a couple of days of being snowed in, and then of course like I don't want to just throw this back into the box, so I framed it. So this is the whole full thing. And then this poster was from the Madonna tour from 2001. This was August of 2001. It was actually 2 weeks before September 11th happened. It was right at the end of August of 2001, and so I always keep it because I just think it's a great poster. Madonna, it was a great tour. A friend of mine actually, I didn't even buy the tickets. A friend of mine actually had the tickets for somebody else and then called me the last minute and said, "Hey, do you want to go? I know you're a fan of Madonna's." And I was like, yeah, because even back then in 2001, I was like, I'm not spending this kind of money for concert tickets. So I actually got to go, and that's the one that has that crazy story about me going in the wheelchair and the whole thing, and because her friend was handicapped, and she said, well, I have handicapped tickets, so somebody has to be in a wheelchair if you don't mind going in a wheelchair. So I actually, even though I wasn't handicapped, so it's a crazy, the things that happened that night were pretty wild. But because she was going to take her a friend who was in a wheelchair and didn't go, she had we were going to be in the handicapped section, so she ended up wheeling me around that night, and so it was kind of weird, but I got to go to the Madonna concert, you know, for free in a wheelchair. So I always think about that friend and think about that. What a crazy night that was. And then the last but not least, this is a poster of a puzzle of Chicago that a friend of mine gave me. I have a lot of this. I've had this for about 26 years. I did it 26 years ago. The first snowstorm, I think, towards the end of '91, and I've had this ever since, and it's kind of moved with me wherever it went. I've still never been to Chicago, but I really love cities at night, and it's just one of those cool things because I like all the colors of it. And, you know, it's one of those things that, like I said, another big puzzle where you're like, well, I can't throw this back in the box. There's no way. So you just, like, somehow, you know, you glue it onto cardboard and then take it to a framer and say, you know, can you frame this? So sometimes it's been in my living rooms at different places. Sometimes it's been in my bedroom when all I had was a bedroom, or all I had was where I was running a room. But it's just one of those great pieces that, because it's been with me in so many different situations, and it has a lot of memories behind it. So anyway, that's pretty much, huh? 3 of me. Oh yes. We'll just show. That's right. Oh, how could I forget? How could I possibly forget the 3 amigos? Well, the 3 amigos are, this lovely pug sculpture. Here, go a little lower. The 3 amigos this is a lovely pug sculpture that I have. That is Magnolia, because all the other pugs I had Matilda and I had Miranda, and then I named this sculpture Magnolia. And then this is a gargoyle that I actually got from, it used to be a gift store that had gargoyle sculptures, but one of the puppies I had actually chewed on this. And then this is someone else gave me this because they knew I love pigs. Oh, here comes,
there's a live one.
Here's a live one. Yes, they knew I love pigs. So this is like a little piggy gargoyle. So Patrick, the first time he came over, he called these the Three Amigos. So, so it's kind of funny because sometimes we'd say, oh, the Three Amigos came alive and had a party, and at Christmas time I usually decorate them or put them in outfits and stuff. But here is the other, here's the live gargoyle right here. This is Miss Pippa. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed our tour, our little tour of our place, and all my little knickknacks and tchotchkes and wall hangings and the stories behind everything. So, you know, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support always. And if you have any, you know, input or any ideas on decorating or any, you know, thoughts about my business or anything like that, you know, please shoot me a message or a comment, or please share with your friends who might need a smile. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.